Good day, everybody. I am so happy. I'm delighted to be giving this lecture at this particular time. To start with, I would like to refer to the late Chinua Achebe. May his perfect soul rest in perfect peace. Chinua Achebe, in one of his rapid-selling novel published in 1958, titled Things Fall Apart, said that he will respect the great, pave way for his own greatness. This will make me to appreciate the organizers of this particular great initiative. Thank you for giving me the privilege to give this particular lecture. I'm not taking this privilege for granted. Thank you and God bless you. Without wasting our time, let us jump right into the lecture. Today, we are going to be discussing unleashing the potential of African youth, climate action and waste management for a sustainable future. A welcome to all. I welcome you once again to this particular lecture. My name is Oyindamola Bankole Oyindamola. I am the founder and team lead at Waste to Heart Nigeria, a non-profit NGO, non-governmental organization in Nigeria dedicated to reducing environmental pollution and fostering creativity in young minds. Waste to Heart Nigeria is a fusion of two words that look divergent. Waste and art. Waste is something that we do not want, something that we abandon, something that seems useless, while art is something beautiful, something we cherish. So what is the relationship between waste and art? For us at Waste to Art, we believe that there are great connection and relationship between waste and art. We train young minds on how to do art in a different way, on how to transform what people consider as waste. For us at Waste to Heart, there is nothing like waste. Waste is just an illusion in the mind of the uncreative. We all are creative, am I right? Yes, we are. We believe that there are creativity inherent in young minds. So we go to schools, teach organizations, teach people on how to turn trash, everyday waste into beautiful artwork, into beautiful masterpiece. I'm also a forward-looking first-class philosophy graduate with a passion for driving positive change through sustainable development initiatives. I finished with a first class at Ekiti State University, Ado-Ekiti, Ekiti State. I was also the president of the NYC SDGs CDS group in Imo State, where I organized and facilitated workshops and awareness campaigns to educate members on sustainability principles and practices. The overview of our presentation. In this presentation, we are going to be looking at three outlines. One, we are going to be discussing suicide. That is when we are talking about climate action. Then how not to kill ourselves, waste management, and conclusion will be unleashing your inner potential. On suicide, why will anyone want to start this topic with the concept of suicide? Is there any relationship between suicide and climate action? These are the probable fundamental questions that a keen mind will be raising. I believe that there is a relationship between suicide and climate action, and I would like to pitch my tent with the Franco-Algerian philosopher and writer Albert Camus, who wrote in his popular novel The Myth of Sisyphus that there is only one really serious problem, and that is suicide. He believed that any discourse that is philosophical, that is rational and reasonable, to start with the concept of suicide. So, why should we raise this question of suicide? Why should we discuss suicide? Why is suicide important? I know we don't want to hear the word suicide. I hate it too. Killing oneself. It's not even acceptable in the law. Don't mention euthanasia here. It's not acceptable when it comes to law in Nigeria. So how can we relate suicide with the concept of climate change? Consider this data. Suicide rates in Africa. 6 of the 10 countries with the highest rate of suicide are located in Africa. Imagine, Lesotho is topping the table. Lesotho is at the apogee of suicide rate in world record. Around 11 people per 100,000 per year die by suicide in the Africa region, higher than the global average of 9 per 100,000 people. According to the World Health Organization, 87.5 people per 100,000 of the population take their own life every year in Lesotho. This data is from the World Health Organization. This is a reputable organization, and these facts and data are true. But what if I tell you that they are false? You might want to question me. How can a data be true and false together? Even a disjunctive statement cannot be true and false together. It can either be true or false. I'm not trying to question this data because I know this data is true. But why did I say that it is false? I'm saying this because there are various ways of committing suicide that this data did not use as a yardstick to get at this particular number. We have many subtle ways of killing ourselves. You can kill your, okay, let me stop. I don't want to be mentioning ways of killing oneself, like using of gun, poison and the likes. No, let me stop there so that you will not call police to come and arrest me. That's on the latter mode. I'm saying that every day we are killing ourselves. Yes. And that is true. Climate change, global warming. Human being, we believe that we are wise, and truly we are wise. We are rational animal, we are higher animal, we are Homo sapien. We believe that we are anthropocentric, that is, everything revolves around men. We are also egocentric in nature, that is true. So we don't want to hear anything about ecocentric. We don't want to hear the fact that everything revolves around the ecosystem, around nature. I once wrote a quote. I said that don't beg humans not to commit suicide. If they cannot pay rapt attention to Mother Earth's vital signs and make her recuperate, then let them kill themselves. This is a radical and funny quote, right? Yes, it is true. I see the time for action has come. This presentation is to stir up action in us. I'm not here to give us data and to tell us history of global warming. We are familiar with this discourse. We are familiar with the discourse of global warming. I'm here to stir us up to make reasonable actions. We are killing ourselves. We are committing suicide when we fail to pay attention to our health. We have a lot of problems that civilization is causing. I once said that innovation must give back to itself. For every, that is, innovation must birth innovation. For every innovation, there will be a particular problem that innovation will cause. This problem should not be a problem. That is not tautology. I'm saying that this problem should give back to another solution. So we have every opportunity to thrive as a youth. As a youth, you must be able to convert every problem into solution. We have various ways of killing ourselves. Now let us look at the killer machines. 1. Climate caused natural catastrophes are taking their toll on both our mental and physical health. Climate change is both affecting our mental health and physical health. Now we have what we call greenhouse gas emission, CO2 every day, from industries, from burning of coal, gases, from our vehicles, and all sort of smokes that we are producing every day. It is affecting our world, and in the same vein, it is affecting us. Now, climate change is expected to cause approximately 250,000 additional deaths per year because of 1, undernutrition. The soil is being affected every day by toxic wastes, toxic materials from industries We call those kind of waste hazardous waste. And it's reducing the number of agricultural production, and this can lead to undernutrition. We have overpopulation too. We have higher number of people feeding unlimited agricultural produce. Then we have malaria. A lot of waste is giving mosquitoes avenue to breed, and this has led to increment in malaria. We have diarrhea, and heat stress alone, says the World Health Organization. A recent World Economic Forum report quantifying the impact of climate change on human health finds that by 2050 it will cause 14.5 million deaths and over 2 billion healthy life years lost. Come to think about it, in the olden days people live longer than we do now. What is a likely change? What change? What is the cause of this high death rate that we are now having now? We know that we have advanced from the Neolithic age, Stone Age. Now we are now in the civilized area. I'm not saying that we should become August. I'm not saying that we should stop being creative. I'm not saying that we should not innovate. This is not a call for us to stop industries from working. This is not the call for us to stop manufacturers from producing food, from producing products that will help better our life. But I'm saying that for every problem that innovation is causing, there must be another solution. Innovation must give birth to itself. Listen to this video.
We're facing a man-made disaster of global scale, our greatest threat in thousands of years, climate change. If we don't take action, the collapse of our civilizations and the extinction of much of the natural world is on the horizon. The world's people have spoken. Their message is clear. Time is running out.
The amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere now is 50% higher than it was in 1900. And not only are we piling in more and more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, but we are chopping down the forests of the earth at a great rate. And the forests themselves are the most efficient consumers of carbon dioxide that there are on Earth. We're going to destroy the ground because the soil of a rainforest isn't very good. We are actually tampering with the climate of the Earth and with the very atmosphere that we breathe. When we talk about the disappearance of the ozone layer, we don't know what will happen when the ozone layer goes. The world has become so fragile that we cannot subject the earth to the tortures we can now inflict upon it. When we talk about the greenhouse effect, we're talking about something that affects the entire earth. And these problems are life and death problems. They go to the root of the viability of the planet itself. If there's one thing that is biologically certain about the human species is that it is a human species, one species.
If we don't stop the destruction of our natural world, nothing else will matter. Simply put, if we don't protect nature, we can't protect ourselves.
solve a problem is by a human solution. Never can we sit back and wait for miracles to save us. Miracles don't happen. Sweat happens. Efforts happens. Thought happens.
Miracle will not happen. It is idea that will happen. It is sweat that will happen. It is action that will happen. How not to kill ourselves. Humans modify our environment like every other species. We just do it more successfully and on a grander scale than most of other species. Human being by nature, we are meant to be creative. We are meant to be innovative. So, to deny us of this particular innate nature is to stop being human. So I'm not asking us to stop innovation. I'm saying that for each innovation, there is a problem, and this problem must be an avenue for us to thrive as youth. You must be able to find every problem in your surrounding and turn them into words, turn them into ideology, turn them into ideas that will change the world. Miracles will not happen. You are the miracle. To stop us, to limit us, is to limit human life. We are not animals. We are not structured like a robot. No. We can do this. We are the miracle. Humanity's well-being is derived from the well-being of the earth. I want you to understand that we are not apart from nature. We are a part of nature. If nature thrive, we will survive. Nature is here before us. In the account of the scriptures, God created nature before us. And let me tell you, if we are no longer here, nature will thrive. Let me give you an instance. If every life, I mean human life, ceases on this earth will thrive. Trees will start growing in our buildings. We have increments in butterflies. We are going to have a lot of animals growing. Nobody will be there to kill them. The grass too will be growing. So without us, nature will thrive. With us abusing the use of nature, nature will not survive. And if nature will not survive, we too will not survive. I'm saying that when we fail to care for nature, we are killing ourselves. We are committing suicide. It is time for you to take action. It is time for you to start converting waste into another kind of innovation, another kind of material. Embrace recycling. Embrace upcycling. Instead of creating another raw material, why can't you think of turning the existing raw material into another kind of product? This will reduce greenhouse gas emission. Think about it. I would not like to give you many things to do. I would not like to tell you that do this or do that. I want you to think. You can think. I'm saying that innate in you is that particular idea that you must give birth to. We are not expecting any miracle. You all are the miracles we are expecting. At Waste to Heart, we go to schools to train students on how to convert everyday waste into beautiful artworks. This particular frame was done with carton. We organize training sections and seminars at schools in order to encourage students to think creativity. I love to relate with students. Let me tell you, embedded in students are ideas. The world is waiting for them. The world is also waiting for you. Listen to this.
Climate change. It's real. It's serious. And it's up to us to solve it. In the last 2 decades, we've experienced 14 of the hottest 15 years on record. By 2050, drought and chronic water shortages could impact 1 billion people, while millions more will be at risk from coastal flooding. It can seem overwhelming, but there's reason for hope. If we embrace solar and wind power to their full potential, we can cut the world's yearly carbon emissions by 1/3. Already, Germany generates 27% of its electricity from renewables, with a goal of 80% by 2050. Denmark has shown it can produce more wind energy than it can use, and England is building the world's biggest offshore wind farm. Communities large and small are taking steps. A new public building in Mexico City has an exterior that breaks down air pollutants, erasing the effects of 1,000 cars each day. Paris installed street tiles that harvest energy from foot traffic. Other cities are paving streets with smog-eating concrete and sidewalks with recycled materials. Individuals can make a difference too, through the choices we make every day. If every American driver drove 10 miles less each week, it could eliminate more than 100 billion pounds of carbon from the air each year. New innovations are making important strides possible, and more are on the way, but we can't wait. Reimagine.
More are on the way and we cannot wait. We don't have much time. You need to arise now and start doing something. Africa, rise. We are creative human beings. We are not inferior. Other people in the world, they are doing great and mighty things. I'm not saying that we are not doing anything. Africa is thriving. We are doing great. But we can do much more. Have hope in you. You are the miracle we are expecting. Unleash your inner potential. The future of Africa and the entire world is in your hands. What will you start today to change the world? Thank you for your time.